and also who can, because whoever is going to get the vaccine, it's a $1 billion industry, if not a $1 trillion industry. So because that person, that company is going to have to supply globally, we're talking about 7 billion people eligible for vaccine. As mega bucks. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't rule that out totally.
Yeah.
However, we need to understand that if you had two sisters, one was making hair and nails and was doing very well. She had a very big salon. And the other one was producing locally made hand sanitizer and was struggling with one little shop. Do you know that the rate at which the one that was struggling is going to overtake the one that was doing well in this period is going to be very drastic, because there's going to be a switch. And he did mention my preaching on Sunday, and I also I wouldn't want to mention it here because I like to keep the preaching. But since he brought it up, I'll still like to touch on it. Many people who reject vaccines from white people and say, "Oh, these Oyinbo people, they have brought their vaccines." The first time the message of Christ came to Africa, it didn't come from them, and it didn't come as Jesus. It came as Yeshua in Acts chapter 8, the Ethiopian eunuch who brought Christianity to Africa. But we didn't take his own version. Instead, we waited for the British people to come many years later with their own version of Christianity. So I think it's a bit hypocritical rejecting their vaccine but taking their version of Christianity. When, do you know how close Israel is to Egypt? Just look, just get a map. It's literally walking distance from Egypt to Israel. Israel and Egypt. Israel is where Christ grew up. Egypt is Africa. As a matter of fact, when Herod wanted to kill Christ, they ran to Egypt. They ran to Africa. They didn't run to the UK or to Rome. So we need to retrace our roots. It's not just about rejecting vaccines and all that. It's also tracing our heritage as Africans and seeing what works for us. I'm 100% for the Madagascar remedy. My problem is Madagascar is not known for remedies. So I'm a bit worried. And we've had malaria here all this while, and Madagascar didn't offer a solution. So those are the two things that are making me skeptical. But I'm never in any way saying we should reject it. For all you know, our cure lies in Madagascar. So let's take a couple of phone calls if we can, WhatsApp messages if we can. Thanks to the guy who called. I do appreciate your call, and you did make a lot of sense.
Okay. Hello. Yes, yes. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Okay. Go on.
Okay. I have so many sharp people calling me today. I'm even worried.
repeat our footsteps and all that. But then between 1960 and 1967, there was a change in this country. That was when the University of Lagos, the UI, the Unity Fair, the likes with you. The reputation that this country was meant to be like, the reputation that Nigeria was meant to grow bigger. And something changed. Something changed. So each time I listen to show and people who make people like if something is just wrong with Nigerians, I beg to differ. But if the same Nigerians who are no matter here, in Canada, America, any other country, they behave properly. It means something is wrong with the system here they found themselves. If they were structured to behave that way, then they should be behaving the same way in every other country they find themselves. So it is not the people. We are programmed. We are programmed. We are not how come an individual.
Woo! That was such a good caller. I loved every minute of that call. Ada?
Yes, please.
Can you hear me?
I'm actually going through some WhatsApp messages and
That was such a good call. That guy used many of the things I've said before in the past to get after me. All right, take WhatsApp messages. Let's see what's going on.
okay. Good evening, Daddy Freeze and Ada. Good job you guys are doing. Daddy Freeze and Ada, would you believe that in Faroe Islands, life has returned and the COVID-19 cases has been reduced to the barest minimum? 187 confirmed cases, 185 recoveries, 0 deaths.
Where's that?
Google. That's Faroe Islands.
Wow. I appreciate people who call us and give us information. That's amazing.
Okay. And he's saying, I am wondering which way Nigeria, Gabriel from the part of Lagos. Okay. Good evening, Ada and Daddy Freeze. You guys are so much. Please, what time will Daddy Freeze be on air, Cool FM, on Sunday? What time, please?
10:30 in the morning.
All right. And we have someone here asking for Dr. Balaka's number.
We're going to get in touch with Dr. Balaka. Don't send anybody's number.
No.
Hey. Oh.
Okay, good evening.
Yes, good evening. We're here.
Please, what is the aim of this campaign? If it's an advertisement for the vaccines, you better let us know to avoid further misconception of this campaign.
Some people just like to talk nonsense. Inside this nonsense he has said, where is the sense? It is a campaign for vaccine. We are talking about Madagascar. They tell you Madagascar has vaccine. We're talking about a lot of things. If you're not intelligent enough to be a part of the conversation, just leave it. It's not by force. I don't know how people do these things. So.
Good evening, Daddy Freeze. Okay. Good evening, Daddy Freeze and Ada. Daddy Freeze, what is your take on the digitalization of money and the ban of cash being sponsored by work leaders led by Bill Gates? Kindly shed more light on this development, Gabriel Oba.
You people are looking for my mouth, Abby. No worry, I go give you my mouth. You see, if you want me to be honest, it's the digitalization of money is long overdue. It's long overdue. I have not carried cash. Tasteboards used to fight me over these things. Why don't you ever have, as in, do you know, sometimes I don't have as little as 50 naira on me. Whenever we get stuck, I'm telling you, whenever we get stock, I'll now be looking for who will borrow me 50 naira. I'm not joking. I don't carry cash. And I haven't carried cash in a long time. Now, in a world of cryptocurrency, you see, we're a bit backward in this part of the world, so we don't know what it is like. I could have been a millionaire in US dollars if I got into the cryptocurrency market at a time when a friend of mine who was into it was advising me to. But I just come out of shares and I was like, you know what? Nah, I don't want to set myself up. It was not until I went to Romania and I saw supermarkets where people were literally saying you can buy with Bitcoin that I began to understand what the future of currency was. So it's a bit backward of us to reject these technologies. We're rejecting 5G, we're rejecting, and all for superstitious reasons. In Canada today, a fourth mast was burnt. Now, this mast did not even have 5G on it. People are literally burning masts out of superstitious beliefs with this whole 5G. And do you know Nigeria has backed down from installing 5G from reports that we hear? For no concrete reason. Lesotho has had 5G for 2 years.
They said they want to reduce fear in the lives of Nigeria.
You see, the government needs to work better strategies. You can't reduce fear by allowing the people to have their way when they don't know what their way is. It doesn't work. It just seems very backward for me. It seems like hustling backwards. The whole world is embracing a technology. We're going to catch up, don't worry. We're going to catch up eventually. We're all complaining right now about our schools being online and networks being slow and all that. Do you know how easy it will have been with 5G? This is the time when we actually need technologies like that. My kids, I see them struggling to get internet, and I have like 5 different internet modems in the house. And I see them struggling trying to get internet to do their schoolwork and all that. And it just shows, I'm sorry to say, how backward we are with regards to technological development. And it's not this generation's fault. I studied computer science in University of Ibadan. We didn't have a single computer. But I studied computer science without computer. They were teaching me computer on the blackboard. I'm not making this up. And that time, laptops were about the same price as cars. In the university those days, if I was to tell my dad to get me something, I'd rather he got me a car than a laptop. You understand what I'm saying? So we were, as in literally, they were writing programming on the board. If you were with us in UI 96 set, 96 set, we didn't have a single computer, CompuFire. It was blackboard that they would draw the keyboard, draw the computer, and tell you if you press the keyboard like this, you will get this. And they were teaching us ancient languages, Pascal, COBOL. Please, who went to UI 95, 96, 97 set? And it was a degree, a university degree, computer science. Before I changed to sociology, when I couldn't have it anymore, I was like, what was all this? This is how I'm going to waste my life. You know? So when it comes to technology and technological advancement, we're not up there. We should not fool ourselves in any way or form. We're not up there. We're actually quite down there, my opinion. Oh. So I think we need all these things. We need to stop running away from our own shadows. Or what do you think, Ada? Let it not be before they come again and say that the freeze has said. You know, I'm used to Daddy Freeze said. I said before they come and say Daddy Freeze said.
Oh, okay. No, but what you said is actually so true. I feel there is so much work to be done at this age and time. Some parents are still finding it difficult to, aid their kids enrolling in the e-learning classes and all. It's crazy. We are really backward, and it's still shocking that most people are still finding it difficult to embrace the digitalization of money, and it's saddening. We really have a long way to go, but God help us.
We have a very long way to go. One long, long way that we have to go. So let's take a couple of phone calls. Something I wanted to say, okay? Sorry, something I wanted to say.
I don't feel we should take more messages.
Okay, messages. I wanted to quickly add something, yeah. Everybody shouting for Madagascar. Madagascar needs to provide their protocol for peer review in a controlled clinical trial. That's what CDO Mike suggested, and I'm 100% with him. Madagascar needs to provide their protocol for peer review in a controlled clinical trial. It's not, we are no longer babalawos and herbalists, and they'll say, just this agbo, use it to bath, drink 2 liters of it in the morning. Everything that is wrong with you, you urinate it out. We are not, no. We're not. We need proper peer review in controlled clinical trials. As this gentleman suggested, I'm with him 100%. We can go to the messages, my dear.
Okay. Good evening, Daddy Freeze and Ada. I am getting scared of how the Nigerian government is handling this pandemic, especially states in the northern part of the country. They are using kid gloves to handle the situation. The prediction of mailing the gates if care is not taken might be coming to pass. As for the vaccine, I am praying fervently that it should be developed and distributed as soon as possible. God forbid, until the sick people slow and die, that's when they will understand the gravity. I am a lighting designer of shows, nightclubs, and so on. I've got to do a social gathering. With this thing going on, how will I end my daily day? So anybody that is taking against vaccine should just go and sleep. Now beg me the beg for Alfred from Alabudo. Good evening, Nada and Daddy Free. We shouldn't trust Madagascar vaccine.
I'm not saying we shouldn't trust the mother. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. About this COVID-19 pandemic, Madagascar's vaccine concept sounds promising, but I also understand your concern about how more dangerous things could become if we focus all our moves on Madagascar's vaccine.
Absolutely.
It is not advisable to put all our eggs in one basket. Okay. We are sorry someone is complaining that we haven't been taking the calls. Daddy Freeze.
Yeah.
Is this how the tide in the Western countries, where they pay much tax and bills compared to Nigeria? Why is he always informed and critical thinkers than the religious people from Greece?
There's some guy here on my social media who says, just to respond to Chris, just to show you how we think here, like we're herbivores. One guy said, I'd rather take Madagascar's vaccine before I take Bill Gates' poison. Unfortunately, sir, your opinion is not needed. When the government comes out and chooses a vaccine, whether it's Bill Gates, whether it's the French one, when WHO finally chooses a vaccine, if you like, don't take it. You will not be allowed into society. You have to go to your village, and there you'll be pushing barrel up and down. When the vaccine comes, don't take. Just be watching. Let me even tell you the funny thing. The people that are shouting they will not take back, they are the first that will run and go and collect. When they see the deaths, nobody will beg you. They know they beg deaf and dumb, say war don't start to. You don't hear say war, they come, they go tell deaf and dumb, say, hey, war. When you see everybody, they run. You will find a way.
I'm just trying to have a mental picture of it. Brilliant. Hello, Ada. If 5G is good, how come Japan, New Zealand, Australia, and Taiwan and others have banned 5G? Many other countries are in the process of banning 5G.
I don't know of any country that banned 5G. I don't know any country that banned 5G. I don't know if Japan banned 5G. They've banned Huawei's
Okay,
deals.
we'll be taking more messages.
Now, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand have banned Huawei 5G deals. Many world powers remain undecided. American officials cast the race to 5G as a national security competition rather than a commercial one. So their problem is they don't want China's 5G. It's not like they don't want 5G. So the next iPhone coming out is going to have 5G. So we need to be careful with the information that we dispense. Japan banned 5G. Probably for political reasons or for their own interest. They don't want the Chinese Huawei 5G. Simple. Do you know what they're working on? You think Japan is like us? That we still have a light that comes and goes, and then we have three generators. We have small generator, big generator, and emergency generator. You think Japan is like that? Take messages, my darling sister. I'm ready for them today.
Good evening, Ada. That means Madagascar is the pride of Africa. It's either we acknowledge it or not. However, I am not surprised that Nigeria is yet to recognize their efforts because their hands are tied. This is because the chief sponsor of the NCDC's interest would be defeated if that happens. The economic part of its plans is more important to them than the human life. Where is our morals? And yielding from the gun.
I don't even know what to say about that. You see, Madagascar has to provide what I asked them to provide. Peer trials in a controlled environment. It's not just about Madagascar is working. Nobody's saying Madagascar is not working. What formula are they using? How are they coming across what they claim to be working? Do you understand, my sister? That's where the issues lie. I don't know, Sha. Everybody seems to know better than I do.
And if you were expecting them, and now they are here for you.
Nah, let them.
The money they paid you from 5G and vaccine will soon finish. Please give Ada small from me too.
No problem. Oh, I will give Ada. Ada, send me your account details. I'm actually hoping Bill Gates will even pay me self. You think if Bill Gates paid me, I'll be here? I'll just be dashing people money every day on the radio. People will just love me so much.
Good evening, Ada and Daddy Freeze. Don't you think it's a hypocrisy to reject Madagascar's remedy, which has proven very effective and has recorded zero death, just because you think Madagascar is not known for us to remedy?
Now, here's that thing. Nobody is rejecting Madagascar. We've told Madagascar what to provide. You cannot tell me something is working because they are telling you by mouth that is that how drugs are tried. People should just go and even read small book to know what happens in the pharmaceutical industry. It's not all these, somebody wakes up one day and tells you he has a cure for cancer and then all of a sudden it's, no. You have to have trials in controlled environments. It doesn't take, it's not overnight. It's not a 1 month, they have the, nobody, see, here's the thing, don't neglect it. Let's not take them lightly. However, let us also be exceedingly careful so as not to set ourselves up. Any more
Okay, he
calls?
went on
Yeah.
to say countries should, yeah, he went on to say countries should capitalize on their areas of strength. You think your stand is unnecessary and a sign of inferiority complex? Timothy from away.
It is his villagers at home that have inferiority complex. Tell him I said so. Inferiority complex. Okay. Well, as in, why do we think like this? Don't worry. When they bring Madagascar vaccine and they bring the one that works, I'm, I don't want to jinx it, but I'm hoping the Madagascar one works, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't, you will see the race and the rate at which people will jump for vaccine. You will not even believe it.
Okay, let's take this before we jump to the phone line. I have stopped tithing and all other pledges meant to enrich the pastors against the church. Do you know that my church shared 3 pieces of noodles to members that tithe, and we that don't, we were not given a pin?
Hey, church shared 3 noodles to tithers, and non-tithers did not get a single pin. Choi. And guess what? My church, where they don't tithe, we've been paying church members' salary for every week for the last 3 weeks.
I'm not a member of your church, but I benefited.
All you need one. Our plans are large for our members. Our plans are large, as in members call us up. It's just that I don't want to go on the radio with this, because if it starts coming back, we won't be able to handle it. But we are there for our members. We are there for them. There's no one that has been with us. I'm not saying this to brag. There's no one that has been with us for a year and has not benefited, either a small investment inside their business, school fees paid or rent. Something will just come out, especially if you've been dedicated for you. There's no way. That was before pandemic. Will come be pandemic that I know you. It's not possible. But that is sad though. As in, your members, you share them noodles. Not even rice, or not bag of rice, or noodles. There is God, oh. This year go rugged, oh. Let's take.
I have experience. I think I shared it with you before, and I said, I think it started from 100,000 naira, and they were praying for those set of persons. If you're coming out to pledge 100K, you stand this way, 50K this way, 20K this way, and they were praying based on how much you pay, and then the rest that didn't come out, like, we pray God bless you, so next time you can be a part of this huge blessing.
Eh? Hey. Hey. Let me keep quiet before they say that the freeze has come again.
So it wasn't my church actually. I went to visit, and that was the first and the last day. Okay, let's go back to the phone line.
Before they start abusing us.
Yes, hello, we can hear you. What's your name, please? Chibu what? Okay. Okay. Daddy Freeze.
What did he say? I couldn't hear him.
How can he be a member of the Free Nation?
Okay, we'll let you know. Right now, let's just concentrate on our show. I'm sure you can send, what's her name, Ada, a message, and she'll get back to me. In the meantime, let us concentrate on our radio show.
Absolutely. Okay, call back. Who's here? Hello? Yes, good evening. Your name is Olu. All right. Welcome to the show.
Talking about this Madagascar, you know, I think we shouldn't trust the deal because I listened yesterday from what the organization saying that we should not take any medicine that is on tested medicine. Because it's the thing, even Madagascar is increasing everything, even despite whatever. So, in Nigeria, I don't even know what they want in this country. When there was lockdown, people were complaining. They needed lockdown.
People have started complaining.
Now, we are talking about the vaccine now. Then people are complaining. What do we really want in this country? Because as far as I'm concerned, without this vaccine, this coronavirus won't go cool. So, I think we really need this vaccine. We need it. And I say that very soon this thing will be developed and, shared for everyone to get the vaccine. So that's it.
All right.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. WHO said we should be careful with whatever is not tried and tested. We should be careful, oh. But if we talk now, they'll say that the freeze does not like Madagascar people. So,
Okay, hello. Hello?
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Good evening or good morning.
Yes, good evening.
good morning.
Hello? Yes, go on.
We'll let you know how, sir.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear you?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yes, we can. He said he will let you know.
On the Madagascar claim and found as supposed to. Here in Nigeria, the government and the LCDC have been telling us, giving us the numbers of those one that are not that are not insured. Hello?
Yeah? Go on.
What percent does Nigeria or the LCDC use to cure this? It's not police here in Nigeria, but doesn't matter because we never tested the positive and the first test. Hello?
We can hear. Well,
Okay, I think I need to get you off the phone line so you hear that if it's.
okay, go ahead. I'm here.
No, he's off the phone because if he's on, he won't be able to hear you. So I had to cut him off so he can listen to your response.
Okay. What was his question exactly so that I do not respond, so I can respond to him well?
Okay, he was asking, with the numbers NDC relates to us of how many persons being tested and how many persons currently having the virus and the ones that have recovered. He was asking, what vaccine exactly are they using to cure this?
It wasn't vaccine. It was just
that
yeah.
these people were never positive before.
You see, what we need to understand is people naturally recover from COVID-19. I think there's a 90% survival rate. The death toll is just about 10%, less than 10% actually. Now, I have Madagascar's figures in front of me. So far, Madagascar have 158 confirmed cases of COVID-19, out of which they have 101 recovered and 0 deaths, meaning they still have 57 patients who are sick, and we pray that they also all recover. 158 confirmed, 101 recovered. There's still some people who are down with COVID-19. So let's also keep that in perspective. Any more text messages, or should we proceed?
Okay, good evening, and please tell us the advantages of 5G. Very much from Abuja.
I think you can Google it. I think you can Google. We've discussed 5G over and over and over and over and over here. If by now you don't know what the advantages of 5G are, I'll say Google is your friend. Abby?
Okay. Daddy Freeze.
Yes,
With
ma'am.
what you just said now, you left me with no other option than to believe that this so-called vaccine has something to do with human implants. How can you say that if one rejects the vaccine, you are not allowed into the society? Daddy Freeze, you and this vaccine, okay, Chukwu from Ikorodu.
Let me tell you something. If you don't take yellow fever vaccine, do you think they will allow you to South Africa? Do you think they will allow you into Ghana? Do you think they will allow you into Dubai? You see, there's gonna have to be some sort of a vaccine passport. It's like what you have your yellow card. You are not going to be able to just wait and see restrictions, travel restrictions from countries. Then you would probably understand. It has nothing to do with your emotions or your sentiments. Countries are going to decide that, okay, if you don't want to come to the UK, some people are even going to use it to cut down unnecessary visitation to their countries. They'll just tell you, go and collect vaccine. If you're not ready to collect vaccine, no problem. We're not looking for visitors anyway. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all. So there's going to have to be, if yellow fever, that is not a global pandemic, has mandatory vaccination. What about something that is a global pandemic? It's a ticking time bomb. So, more calls, my darling.
Okay. 0700-993-993-993 is the number to dial. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, it's Kelechi on the line.
Okay. Welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Oga Kelechi, well done, sir. I hail you.
You see, what is going on in our country here and there? We so much believe whatever we hear that is not true. And we don't take care to know what brought about us and how to tackle it. At the same time, just like what is happening in church, and the same thing happening in our government, some of them are swapping, deceiving every man. How can you believe that the church that collect tithe will be so people? And those who did not pay tithe, what means the contribution will they do? The way you contribute,
Na isusu.
nothing can happen to government. This afternoon, Angela was saying, because that is what is coming out from government. But they are looking at they will not start to giving children food in their house. How can that be possible? My sister, we are in the city. Our people cannot even stand and defend themselves. Look at this vaccine from these people. They have no say from Madagascar. From Nigeria, here we have them. And these people are claiming that we are killing other people. And somebody asked, how do these people heal? They heal. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Now, at the same time, people are asking questions, irrelevant questions. Why don't you follow up? Why don't you follow up? Look at what is going on. Do you know that whatever comes from your house can help you? Because that is where you are coming from. Then, from Europe and all the rest, whatever comes from Africans cannot help them. And they believe that. And they have even tell the whole universe that Africa, they cannot take this vaccine here. This is not what they are saying. But in our own are helping us. I'm telling you, but why our people cannot even believe where they are? Some of us have never even traveled out. And we are here. And God has been helping us. And whatever we get here, help us. So why do we refuse? And well, I don't know that that's it.
Yes, sir.
By the grace of God, I know that God will give you knowledge too.
Amen. Amen. And I appreciate your call.
Other things, and to make some, to believe and to know and to go into it. I know that God will never listen because there are people who are on the time following you. And seeing this matter and seeing this is one thing that somebody can reason about. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lots and lots of points right there. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. That does make a lot of sense. Now, Ada, there's something I wanted to discuss today. I don't know if you saw it in my notes for the day. The fact that black people in the UK are more prone to dying from COVID-19. And I think a similar study was done in the US. So we need to be very careful with these. He raised a valid point, you know, and I like to read this out to you all. Okay? So let's discuss this, and because it's particularly worrying since we're black people, and it seems like we might uh, be predisposed to this particular um, pandemic. So let's discuss this, guys, and please let us be open-minded. Black people are 4 times more likely to die from COVID-19. New data shows. Now, black people in the UK are 4 times more likely to die from COVID 19 than white people, and a number of ethnic groups are also at an increased risk. According to Stark official figures exposing a dramatic divergence in the impact of the coronavirus pandemic in both England and Wales. A report released on Thursday by the Office for National Statistics found black women, defined by the study as black Caribbean, black African, and black other, are 4 times more likely to die from COVID 19 than white women, while black men are 4.2 more likely to die. People of Bangladesh, Pakistan, Indian, and mixed ethnicities also had statistically significant raised risk of death, the report found. While among people with Indian ethnicity, women were 2.7 times more likely to die and men 2.4 times. For the Chinese ethnic group, the heightened risk for men was 1.9, while 1.2 for women. Even after taking into account age demographic factors and measures of self reported health problems, the study found that black people were almost twice as likely to die from COVID 19 than white people. The data covers COVID 19 deaths from 2nd of March to 10th of April. It's urgent. The cause of this disproportional issues are investigated. The UK Shadow Justice Secretary, David Lammy, tweeted this morning, calling the findings appalling. Action must be taken to protect black men and women women, as well as people from all backgrounds from the virus. Rebecca Hainstadt, Chief Executive of Equality and Human Rights Commission, warned that statistics reveal the true impact of coronavirus is having on ethnic minority people. She said while the ONS has revealed the numbers, the reasons are less clear. Race inequality is persistent across Britain, with people from ethnic minorities facing disadvantage in their living conditions, access to healthcare, and economic opportunities, among other areas, which could be contributing factors. A spokesperson for Health and Social Care Department said any death from this virus is a tragedy, and they're working incredibly hard to protect the nation's public health. So, this is something we need to discuss. Black people are more at a risk of dying from this virus in the UK. What are the studies to show how black people are being protected here in Africa? Are you not worried, Ada? Let me hand over to you.
Very, very, very worried. Like, why exactly? I thought gone are the days when people act this way. Because they're all together, and I feel like ethnic groups should, consist of, people assumed to have common cultural
Now, you see, we need to understand that we're different. White people are not prone to keloids. Black people are more prone to keloids. Black people are also prone to sickle cell anemia. When my mom first came to this country, they asked her genotype, and my mom worked in a laboratory in Romania part-time while she was going to school. So she used to work in the lab. So they asked my mom what was her genotype. My mom said, "What is genotype?" Do you know that in Eastern Europe, as of that time, they never had sickle cell? Same thing with fibroid. Now, there are some cancers that are more prone to white people. White people are more prone to skin cancer. Black people are less prone to skin cancer. So, race has also played cards with regards to how people respond to different diseases. Now, the Europeans also suffered from the plague, the bubonic plague, and it decimated their populations. It really, you see, all this pandemic that we are seeing now is joke compared to the bubonic plague. Now, the people who survived the bubonic plague were more resistant to diseases like HIV/AIDS. That's why they're like 500,000 to 5 million Europeans who can never be infected by HIV/AIDS because they don't have the receptors in their cells for the virus to hold on to. Could that also work in their favor with regard to the COVID-19 pandemic? So our melanin protects us from skin cancer. Melanin is not protecting us from COVID-19. For all you know, melanin could be what's dragging us into COVID-19 because the death rates are 4.2 times. That is for every white man that gets it, 4 black people. For every white man that dies, 4 black people. That's the equivalent, if we were to put it literally. So our melanin is protecting us from skin cancer. It's not protecting us in any way from COVID-19. So we need to be very careful. We black people should not be the people sharing conspiracy theories right now. We should not be joking with... This is not the time when we came out and said, you know what, we don't want vaccine. We don't want... No. This is the time when we need to sit up and find a cure and find a vaccine and find a treatment fast. Because we're seeing the figures in Kano. We're looking... I hand over to you, my sister.
It's really, really, really appalling. Now my fear is, what happened to those people out there? What's our government doing about that? Are they going to be there and then allow the virus, eat all of them up, or is there something they're working to bring them down here where their body, their system accepts the weather condition?
Virus does not have anything to do with weather condition. No. If you bring them here,
body type and the
I don't think
assistance,
that's going to work
it's
in
not
any way in our
workable to them.
favor. I don't think that's going to work in any. You see the mass burials in the north. You see the mass burials in the north. It's the same weather. And rather they stayed in the UK where they have opportunity to go to good hospitals. I would not advise anybody to come home here if you live in a country that has a proper healthcare system. I will not advise you to come back home. Come back to what? Let's tell ourselves the truth. The best thing we can do for ourselves right now is probably have. Well, I'm suggesting that we probably have another lockdown and a proper lockdown this time. Wike style lockdown. They say Wike goes around inside helicopter looking for people that are defaulting lockdown.
Yeah.
I think that's what the country needs right now. So let's take a couple of phone calls and let's see what the people are saying.
Absolutely. 0700 993 But Daddy Free, don't you think it's because those people they live in areas where the virus is most prevalent? I don't know. I just feel.
Um, it's hard to tell, but one thing that is sure is that we are not responding well to it. It's like fibroids. Black people are more prone to fibroids than white people. Our weather is not helping fibroids. You understand? If you like live in Nigeria, if you like live in Ghana, it doesn't remove the fact that we're more susceptible to fibroids, keloids also. You understand? While they're more
Yeah.
susceptible to skin cancers. Now, would our own environment be more suitable to us? Maybe in other regards, but not in this one, because we're having quite a lot of debts too. And, it hasn't really started though. COVID-19 hasn't really hit us. And I'm praying it doesn't because it doesn't look like it's going to be good. So let's just take phone calls. Let's see what everybody else has to say. And let's pray that we're wrong.
We are wrong. I'm seeing a data here revealing that on the 28th of April, it's showing that the virus has killed 33 white people per 100,000 in English hospitals, but had killed 89 people per 100,000 of Black Caribbean descent. How wrong are we?
So that means we are right. I was just hoping that we are wrong,
89% and the other 33. Wow, the margin is wide.
Absolutely, sis. Absolutely.
Okay, Jesus, let's talk. Hello. Yes, please.
Try.
Oh, the echo back is with that. Hello. 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 Yes, please turn off your radio set. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now. Wow.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name? What's your name? All right, Chichi. You have 30 seconds to make your point. Hello?
Can we take another call? Chichi can't really hear us.
Yes, just go on. You have 30 seconds to make your point. What do you think about what we're discussing? Chichi, you have to call us back, please. Hello. All right. Hello.
It's hard, though.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening, oh.
Okay. Are they calling from where? All right. Please go on. 30 seconds to make your point. Mm-hmm.
One waste of space called Lord Gabriel Osadolo is asking me, how do I live without a wife divorcee? It's like people just don't even have work. Who tell you say I don't get wife? Eh? See your flat head, like that side of Moi Moi where they start to chop from first. If I ever see you for this place again, wait till I go do you, I no go like yourself. Where they go, they go, they go. They tell you say with a head cattle here, seeing long face. How do you live without a wife? How did Paul live without a wife? How did Christ live without a wife? How did Elijah live without a wife? Mumu, I like Nero, no. Eh? How did John the Baptist live without a wife? Koto Shorik Bele baby or let you, Gino. Come out for here. Cannot see you here again. Today is a bit rough. So, I think we can move on from here right now, even though a lot of people are still in this, and I can see Ada. I think I scared you. Maybe I shouldn't have told you this because I can see you. You're a bit worried, right?
I mean,
And inside where you are worried, you have now removed your face mask. The very thing you should not do when you are worried. Everybody look at Ada. Ada has removed her face mask. Hey.
it's back on.
Can people see Ada? She's worried, and then face mask is off. 2020 don't rough. This year go rugged. Oh.
Ego, I mean, he's not rugged. I think you should change it. This year is not rugged.
This year don't over rugged. They say hornets don't even enter Yankee. Hornets, they stink people. It's a very rugged year.
With coronavirus, we're not done with hunger. So many things. I think it was on your page. I saw that thing first.
When I saw it, I just put it there. Let people understand what we're going through. I'm worried right now. You can see that there's people are worried. Jigawa state government confirms mysterious deaths of 92 persons within 1 week. Rules out COVID-19 complications. How do 92 people die mysteriously in 1 week? When it's not pigeons. Nigerian rapper Ben Chijoke, known as Ty. He died from coronavirus at the age of 47. Breaking news today.
Wow.
Now, talking about my brother, our late brother, General Sani Abacha, there's still 319 million loot in the UK, France, and the US. Abacha is just coming through for us this season. It's like God just reserved Abacha for COVID-19. Another $319 million coming through again. Ah. And I said something. If Abacha hadn't stolen this money or hadn't taken the money, as the case may be, what would we have done with the money? The one he did not steal, what did we do with it? Femi Falana was now saying that the US was insulted. I don't know if you saw that story, that the US, it's insulting for the US to tell us what to do with the, with the, do we have a caller?
The money? Yeah, hold on the radio.
Okay, let's take calls.
Okay, let's. Hello? Yes, good evening.
I can't hear him.
I was even struggling too as well.
All right. World Health Organization has revealed why COVID-19 patients who recover from the disease test positive again. The organization told the Associated Press that people who tested positive for the second time after recovering are not getting reinfected, but are still expelling dead lung cells rather than getting a new infection. So, any more calls? Or should we take text messages?
Yes, hello. Yes, we can. All right, then. Okay.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. I couldn't hear a single word of what he said, so I'd like you to explain to me.
Okay. He's commending you for the good job, and then he made an observation that you shouldn't allow callers who pisses you off to make you change the tone of your voice. You should still keep it cool when trying to state a point, irrespective of how pissed you are.
Absolutely. Point noted, point taken. Don't mind me, guys. I'm going to be very gentle moving forward.
Hello. Hello. Yes. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. My name is Felix.
All right, Felix, go ahead, sir. Okay, let me just give you, just register freenationchurch.org. Freenationchurch.org. All right, sir. You're most welcome, sir. God bless you.
Hello. Please turn the radio set and call us back.
Mm.
Hello. Yes. Good evening. You're Sony. Okay. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh,
What did he say? Because I missed out
I'm
most of
off
it.
the phone. He wanted to ask something. That was when he just went out. He was trying to make an illustration with the Israelites in the Bible. Hello? Yeah. Okay, Femi. Welcome.
Yes.
Remember why when suddenly the man died, then part of his property was killed in Abuja then. Then his wife made one statement which she said, no matter how the government take over their property, they can never be as poor as Dangote anymore. All this look recovery now shows how big that government has taken over Nigerian possessions. Anyway, thank God for all this recovery. So, second one. Sorry, I spoke to you before yesterday to help me give my line to free. I was the one that called that I've started my own crusade. Right from here down to Street on Free Nation. But I want to be part of the group. Exactly, especially the WhatsApp group. Have some ideas to at least contribute to the group as well. Yeah, yesterday I tried to call that I couldn't make it. That is free.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday somebody was telling me about for taking the national president or whatever.
Yes, sir.
I had to respond to that. I want you to at least have one kilo to that. You see, the something I don't understand is that we Christ died for us, not for. The people seem to neglect all Christ's commands and be following the ones apostles initially and now put his own upon all what Christ has said. Christ said, where one or two are gathered in my name, I am in
their midst. Absolutely.
He addressing the people of Hebrew, not even all the Christians, because Hebrew is a letter written to the people of Hebrew, not all the Christians. If you don't send it to the Galatians, if you don't send it to the Philippians,
To the Philippians, absolutely.
for them to understand. Then maybe the people of Hebrew, they scatter because of the vegetation they are facing, and so God is trying to at least encourage them to at least turn each other and gather have some
I like this guy.
commandments. And if you don't go to this thing, open and open. God bless you, please.
God bless you. Can I say something, sir? Can I say something, sir?
Hello, Ada.
I can hear you. Can you hear Daddy Freeze? Hello?
Okay, you know what? Let me say something. Tell him to listen to his radio. That I'm going to address him now.
Okay, just listen to the radio. He wants to talk to you right now, okay? Just listen. And I have sent your number to him. Right.
All right. I'm gonna wait for like 20 seconds while he finds his way to the radio before I start talking.
Okay, by the way, I've sent your number to you.
I saw it coming. I appreciate him and I thank him very much for all the love and care and concern. And I'm sure he'll be listening to the radio now. So good evening, sir. If you have been with the Free Nation for a while, you will know that the Free Nation uses what we call the Red Scriptures or the Red Bible. That is the Free Nation Bible, the words of Christ. It's our priority. So for us to establish any doctrine, if you've been with a Free Nation, I'm sure Free Nation people can relate to this because I have a few people watching me online. We use the Red Scriptures. We are very careful with Pauline and Peterian concessions. The words of Peter and Paul, if not run alongside the Red Bible, we do not take, or we take with a pinch of salt. We call them the Pauline and Peterian concessions. So do not neglect the gathering of the brethren is a Pauline concession. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the brethren gathering. And if you follow what Paul was saying initially, their recommendations for the gathering of the brethren. Christ was also very careful to tell us in John chapter 4 that God is looking for those who worship him in spirit and in truth. So you don't really need a physical gathering to worship God. What you need a physical gathering for is so you can donate money to somebody. So somebody can collect your money. That's all. That's the difference in a physical gathering. There's nothing. We're doing a radio show for Christ's sake online. What do you have to? What message you want to go and listen to in the church that you need to be there with your two legs? That's why people don't want 5G because it's going to save you from all these. So I appreciate the gentleman. God bless him. We will never take the words of Paul over the words of Christ in the Free Nation. We've dealt with Pauline and Peterian concessions a long time ago. Because, let me give you an example. In Galatians chapter 2, Peter was being hypocritical, and Paul came to address him publicly. So, what are the things that Paul did and said, that Peter did and said and wrote at the point where he was hypocritical? Do you understand? Then Peter now also went against Paul and said, you all need to be careful with this Paul guy's letters, so his letters don't lead you astray. So there was a bit of a cold war between Peter and Paul. Paul was the scholar. He understood the law. Peter was a fisherman who understood Christ. So there was a bit of disparity, hidden cold war between the two of them. And the same thing that Paul accused Peter of, Paul still ended up doing. And that's why he came and said, when I was with those who are under the law, I was under the law. And when I was with those who are not under the law, I was no longer under the law. I try to find common ground with everyone so I can win. So you are blaming Peter, for not blending with the uncircumcised Gentiles. Meanwhile, you are also going under the law just to suit the narrative, and then you are no longer under the law just to suit the narrative. When you are weak, you were weak. When you're, do you understand what I'm saying? Christ, on the other hand, did not suffer any of these fluctuations in identity and character. Sometimes Paul was up, sometimes he was down. He was a great man, and the works of Apostle Paul cannot be undermined. I'm not trying to undermine his work, but I'll definitely undermine his work with regards to Christ, because we have to know who's boss. So I appreciate that gentleman. He shows that he's taking his time to study. So let's move on to more phone calls. Hope we'll get plenty of nice people.
Hello? Yes, can you speak up, please? Hello? Oh.
Sometimes it's sad the way you find it hard to. Well done, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, sir. How is Ikorodu
Okay,
this evening?
I've been following this program for some time.
Okay.
That have not permit me to either comment on the past ones. Let me just go straight to what I had that if you said not long ago about Nigerians who they want to evacuate. I think what is planted about them is the best. I wish it was it, but unfortunately there is a country that does not accept the truth. These people will only come back to Nigeria and die.
God bless you, sir.
People who are drinking with their drink to come here, even the government that wants to evacuate them are borrowing and begging. I had the news of that some days ago, saying that they had some arrangement with the British airline that want to evacuate British from Nigeria. They can't even pay for our people that are coming. And even he said that there's no enough bed. As we are talking, about 72 of them are thought to be corrected in China, tested positive. If you bring them back to this country, of course, it's going to increase our number, and that is just it. So I don't see any sense in somebody coming from Britain or all those places to Nigeria, where there is not a deceptive government that cannot even pay for their citizens to be evacuated. I know that you know that they are going to all those countries looking for. They talk about EPs going to pick some people that the couple that Japan EPs. They also have an alliance EPs to bring us down. Looking at cheap ways of doing it. Cheap ways. They are not even ready to spend the money to bring our people back. There is not enough admission centers, there are enough beds, and even the one in Canada have not been hotel. Other places is spreading that still around it and are already infected to other parts of the state in the north west. In fact, I just don't know, but I think the advice or what that if he says about evacuation, I wish somebody will listen to me. Now, they only come back here and ask the one that they have not even content that you have the name. Okay.
God bless you, sir. Beautiful, beautiful contribution. Ada, that was the best contribution I've heard in a long time. Beautiful contribution. Very, very well put together. Very intellectually sound. I appreciate that gentleman. I appreciate him. Thank you very much, sir. We need to listen to the truth. We need to be able to tell ourselves the truth. And it is one thing that we are mostly lacking in this part of the world. Ale barawa sotoro. I'm sorry I had to go into Yoruba. We don't like telling ourselves the truth. We are very sentimental. I had a live video earlier on today and I talked about blind justice. Justice is blind for a reason because it doesn't want to mess with sentiments and emotions. For you to be a forward thinking person, the first thing you have to do away with is sentiments and emotions. You have to be able to deal with facts. No matter how annoying something sounds, if it's a fact, it's a fact. Do you get me, my sister?
Yeah.
And this has to be, it has to be dealt with. And the sooner the better for us all. So I'm glad that there are people. What do you want to bring? Okay, the government wants to evacuate you and bring you where? And keep you where? They want to use you to do display or what? Stay where you are. Unless they are beating you and you are suffering where you are. There's no need for you to bother yourself. Come into what? If nobody tell you true, you know if you tell yourself true, where you dey rush come? That's just my own. No, for all you know, I may be wrong. You know that if he doesn't know anything, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I love that gentleman's contribution.
Well, yeah, he did make a lot of sense.
So
Check, we are.
I was dreading that. I was enjoying the show so much. I didn't want you to say, "Oh, it's time again." I thank you all so much.
Please, can we have your passing word?
Nigeria Info has been a wonderful, wonderful place for me. I've loved every moment of it. I've loved all my good callers and all my not so good callers, all the critics and everyone. I've loved you all. We've had a wonderful time here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's been absolutely splendid. And here is what I want to say. Let's be careful. In all what we're saying, let's pick the reality. Let's help one another and love one another. Let's stop being superstitious, hypocritical, and all that. I told the whole world that, look, no matter how much tithe you pay, no matter how much seed you sow, if you're not innovative, if you're not working, if you're not industrious, you're never going to be rich. Meanwhile, other pastors will come and tell you all sorts of things that you want to hear. Where are the tithers now? Where are all of them? Yes, I can tell you where they are. Most of them are in my DM telling me they are hungry and this and this and this is happening. So you can catch me on Cool FM on Sunday. I'm going to be preaching a message called Lazy Jacob. It's going to be very, very, very powerful and, of course, very controversial. But I'm going to go deep into the scriptures and we're going to hit it hard. So for those of you who love to switch with me when I switch to Cool FM, join me on 96.9 Cool FM on Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. The Sanctuary is going to be off the hook. Then we'll be back on Nigeria Info Monday, 10 p.m. till midnight. It's going to be amazing again. We're going to be unleashing, on Nigeria Info, Ada, we speak facts.
Yeah.
It's all about the numbers. It's all about what's really happening. We don't play. We don't joke around. So God bless you guys. Take care of yourselves. Ada, take good care of yourself, my lovely sister. See you all next week and see you on Sunday.
Absolutely. That was like a dynamic. That means that end where we officially have to end off the show and the top stations.
Oh, it's not easy. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming through. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough. It's been an absolutely wonderful opportunity for us all to be together. Thank you. Uncle Freeze, come and attend to me. I can't be a follower of your teachings all these years and you sort me out. All right. My sister just got me hooked on your show. Gracie, yo, how are you? Some people overseas pushed to return home are already broke and in need. They need to come back home. That's the question. They are broke, they are needy, they want to come back home. Come back to what? Did they tell them there's money here? One woman that called me from Europe and said that she was suffering from psychosis and she wants to come back to Nigeria. I'm like, you dey abroad, you dey suffer from psychosis, where mental home dey. You can't come Nigeria. Now on that bridge, you go. Within 6 months, your family will kick you out. Who wants to take care of mad person? Your family will kick you out. You'll be living under the bridge. You've got to be thinking these things through. She called me last year. I advised her to stay. She stayed for a year. After a year, she called me again, said she wants to come home with mental condition. Ah, they'll just talk, say your own craze now imported. Finish. Before you know it, you're under one bridge. At least abroad, they appreciate, say this one a mental case. Niger, we renew. They go just they run from you. So in all things, let's have wisdom. God bless you all. I love you guys. YouTube guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Start subscribing to my channel, YouTube people. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Were kiyamosa. Jọ̀wọ́ subscribe to my channel. All of you there, I can see all of you, 130 of you. Already, Amaka, God bless you. Kelechi, God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you so much.